Screen time salutations to all you internet dwellers out there, and welcome to another episode of Screen Time Continuum. I am Nick, and I am joined. The crew is back. We're back together. The boys are back in town. I got Keelan here. How you doing, man?
I am doing amazing. Can't complain. Everything on my end is on the up and ups. How about you? How about yourself, Dejan?
I'm doing all right. A little bit burnt for the day, but I'm good. How you
Good,
guys?
good. Yeah, everything's all right. It's Wednesday, making it through the week little by little. But yeah, I think we're psyched and ready to go and ready to hit this topic tonight. Thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in with us this evening. We are going to be chatting about Invincible Season 1. We talked a little bit. We had a couple episodes about the first few episodes of Invincible, and then we basically decided that we're just going to watch the rest of them and talk about the first season as a whole. That way we don't have to break it up into multiple more episodes. I think this will be a good way to do it. I just finished binging. Keelan, what are your thoughts? What's going on? How are you feeling?
Well, for once, I chose not to binge something in the last day or two. So I kept the content fresh for me. For today, I made an effort to not go near anything Invincible related for the last 24 hours. And how I feel coming into this is still the way I felt at the end of it. Like, whoa, and and there better be at least 2 or 3 seasons of this. But I was still entertained. Like, I am looking forward to the next few seasons. Oh, I think Nick froze for a minute.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I did. My apologies. Sorry,
no
guys.
worries at all. And so what about you, Dejan? How do you feel about season 1?
So my thing is jumping on everything with you guys. I binge watched it. I legitimately did it in one whole day.
Nice.
I was just no.
No, you didn't like it.
I mean, I enjoyed it. But not the binging part. I was just like,
okay,
holy shit. I'm just like, oof.
It was a lot to take in.
Yeah, it was like Thanksgiving for cartoons, man.
Oh.
I was like, wow. I'm still processing it, and I literally just got through rewatching the first episode again with my wife, and she hasn't touched it yet, so she's liking it so far, but she hasn't seen that last 5 minutes of that first episode yet.
Oh wow!
I told her, you're gonna have to take that off real quick. My son was sitting there watching it. I'm like, no, it's gonna get a little.
Definitely too much for the children. I totally agree with that. If I had to compare and for those who are not familiar with our format and how we run, just let you know ahead of time, spoiler alert, and way more spoiler alert, because we do not hold back. We expect for you either to be prepared for the spoilers or to have already seen the material. And if not, we apologize for any spoilers we hit you with that you aren't prepared for. However, at the end of that first episode, I mean, not only is it not for kids, I would venture to say that it is more gruesome than the entire, say, Mortal Kombat movie. 2021.
Definitely.
So I totally agree with you that that didn't happen. I can't wait to see what her reaction is to the final 5 minutes of that. That's going to be an interesting here.
Yeah. And the best part is she is tuning in. So if I was
awesome.
her, I would like cover my ears.
Cover your ears. Yeah, exactly. This is a spoiler discussion, so we are definitely not going to be holding anything back on that one. But yeah, honestly, the last episode, I was like, wow, that kind of made it worth the entire season for me, to be honest. They kind of started the season with a really gruesome, bloody sort of action scene in Omni-Man killing the Justice League. And this one was just like, whoa, dude. I think we were watching and we were just like gasping at all the times Omni-Man used Mark to kill people.
Right.
Like, holy crap.
Right. So I think that's the crazy thing is the contrast between episode 1 and episode, the last one was 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So the contrast between episode 1 and episode 8, they're not that much different when you get down to the ending. Now, if we're just talking about the meat of episode 1 and episode 8, yeah, two totally different episodes. But the last 5 minutes for episode 1, the last 10-20 minutes for episode 8, they're seemingly synonymous. It paints the picture, and this is what I was saying from the very beginning about Nolan, specifically about Omni-Man. He was painting the picture to me because of his intense gruesomeness, the mean streaks, that Viltrumites are exactly who he told us that they really are.
You know? Yeah, I definitely liked the angle of like the conquering sort of planet and the empire sort of thing. I thought that was a pretty cool angle. I liked it a lot better than what could have possibly been, where it's just like he wanted to hoard, all the power for himself. I kind of do like this aspect of the Viltrumites basically expanding across the universe and taking over. Which leads, a lot of possibilities for the following seasons, for sure. There's definitely a lot more they can do with it.
Right. Well, so from there, I have to ask a question so I go in the correct direction for all of us. Do we want to try to recap person by person? I know we're not going to do episode by episode. That was the whole purpose of not doing that. Or do we want to kind of just go from the things that make the most sense for us? Now, just so you guys are aware, this is the best way to do it.
Yeah, it is a little bit tough to kind of go by person, I think, especially since most of these episodes are pretty serialized and the only overarching storyline has to do with Mark. There's a lot of smaller storylines that we can get into. If you want to talk about any in particular, I would say go for it. Which ones do you want to get into?
Well, I have some theories about Mark and Amber, but I'm sure those will come up. I am really, really, really head over heels for this robot story.
Oh, yeah. That came out to be a little bit more innocent than I thought it was going to be.
Just a little bit, but only like slightly more innocent. I think there is a much more sinister backstory to that.
Yeah.
First off, he was 28. That I'm like, wait, so you're 28, you're this little glob in a tank.
What happened?
Yeah. You get me. You understand?
How'd you get there?
You can't just tell us that you had this terrible disease that was killing you from the inside and that the air around you is killing you, but you lived to be 28 and you weren't an infant when you built this contraption that you're inside of. So what's really going on? So I think there's a lot more behind the robot story.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to know how much of that we're going to get. And I'm also curious to know how much does Cecil really know about robot what was his name?
Rudy.
Yes.
Rudy.
Yeah.
Rudy.
So Rudy. And was that his real name or is that like the name he created? We don't know.
I think it's his real name. I think it's the whatever that glob that was in the tank. That was his name was Rudy.
The glob named Rudolph. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm very, very curious, and I will say again, head over heels. Like I really want to know what's going on with that. I hope that's in the first episode or 2 of season 2, and Monster Girl as well, because I think what so Rudy is a genius, like a super genius. Like he's coming off to me as like quantum level Iron Man or quantum level Tony Stark, not just basic level Tony Stark. So. I'm wondering, will he be able to break her curse or create a contraption that will essentially reverse the curse?
I'm wondering if he was the one that caused the curse to begin with.
Oh,
I mean, like, it seems like he has, it doesn't seem like he has a very like understandable connection to Monster Girl. Like I get that like he sympathizes with her in some sort of way, but there seems to be something deeper there. And if he is like, he's like guilty about her condition. So I wonder if he maybe had a part to play in how she became who she was.
Or just horny.
Or that. Yeah.
I was going to thank you, Dijon, because I was going to say, I like how season 1 turned Nick from optimist to cynic, but he still just didn't cross that line of like, all right, this is just pervy. Because if it were Rex, you would have definitely called the pervy side of it.
Oh yeah, I'm only excusing it right now because they're both in child form, even though they're both in their 30s. I still think it's weird.
It's ultra weird.
Yeah.
But and also, I like how you went straight for the jugular on Robot because you gave Omni-Man so many passes.
Omni-Man passes on who?
You just
on what?
Just in season 1, like, nah, he's not the bad guy. He's just misunderstood.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, he's definitely the bad guy for sure. But it is interesting. They make a point to mention that a Viltrumite has never abandoned their post before. So you could tell that he was conflicted with his duty, and yeah.
I think you're gonna be. Okay, so let me be very clear let me be clear on why I'm making fun of you right now.
Okay.
I firmly called this for season 1, but I don't think you're wrong. And I think in season 2, I'm gonna be eating half of my sentences.
Maybe. I mean, I don't necessarily. I don't know if I would want it to go that way, like the way of him redeeming himself. He's done some really awful shit.
That's not what I mean.
So, yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
So I don't think he's gonna redeem himself. I think he's gonna come back, and Mark may see a little bit of what he means. One, and or he's gonna put himself in a situation with the other Viltrumites. Now I don't know how that's gonna play out. But what I see at this point is he seems like he was a little pressed for time. Like he's been holding the ball a little too long. Shot clock's running down. And I think he may, wherever he's at, wherever he goes, or if he comes back, wherever he gets found, he's going to have some issues with the other Viltrumites. And I don't know if Mark's going to help him, but I think that is going to bring more light to who he is, like as Nolan or as Omni-Man. He's not just this world destroyer by birthright. He is someone who actually, maybe he developed a little bit of feelings. Maybe he started to see some things differently. Maybe he doesn't want to destroy Earth anymore.
Maybe, or maybe he's going back to Viltrum to get an army.
I'm hoping it's that, but
yeah.
I because of the way the season ended, I think if he were going to go that far, he wouldn't have left. He just would have called for backup. And so that's what made me think, like, okay, wait, why'd he leave? Something's off. Like maybe I was jumping the gun on him being the big bad, but he's definitely not the good guy of season 1.
No, certainly not. Yeah. He's pretty brutal, man. As I said, it was pretty impressive, that whole fight season. I thought the animation was really good. For some reason, I like the animation in the action scenes more than just the regular scenes, and I don't know what that is. I think there's a little bit more anime to the action scenes than there is to the actual like normal scenes. Yeah. But I can't put my finger on it. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
I think it's frame. The frame is. How do I say that? I believe the fight scenes are at a higher frame rate.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did I say that properly?
They give you that Naruto / Dragon Ball Z action.
Right, right. You get what I mean. It hits the different pockets.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the action scenes in the last episode, especially. But I do want to bring up one thing, and this is one thing that I had brought up in previous episodes that they continued to do, and I was not happy about it. I don't want the Amber thing pisses me off so much. Like, it makes me so angry. I'm just sitting there like, okay, why are you simping for her? She hasn't given you any understanding at all. And you're just like, oh, I'm so sorry. Give me another chance, like over and over and over again. She's not even willing to. And then he gets his ass kicked and disappears for like weeks on end. And then she doesn't even say sorry. She's just like, well, we could get back together if you want.
Man,
what?
Yes.
What is this?
I'm so glad you were right about that. But at the same time, I wish that you were right about the direction. I'm sorry, Dijon. I heard you coming in. Go ahead.
No, that's typical teenage crap.
Yeah,
I think possibly we were all in that situation, or we had that one friend that was just sitting there in that situation, just shaking your head like, dude.
Yeah.
Drop that shit. Drop it. Get out my ear with that bullshit.
Yeah. And then you got it. Yeah.
And so what the Amber situation for me was just Amber was trash, and I'm gonna say it exactly like this.
Agreed.
She became absolute trash the moment at the college where he goes off and he saves everybody. And where did you go? First off, why didn't you run?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Why were you saying, "Hey, let's fight this robot thing that was rampaging on the college"? And then what pisses me off more is that after that, she says she knew the whole time. So why are you giving him shit about? Why are you giving him shit about running away? You knew what he was doing.
And that's exactly where I was going with that. It's like, so you go through all of that, you drag it out. Now, if I'm being honest, I'm just gonna say it flat out. You're two high school seniors on a college tour with your best friend or your partner, your homeboy, and he's out doing his thing, and then his thing got messed up, and then he saves your life. Do you know what you should be doing right now in this dormitory?
Not going to some frat party.
You know what I mean? It's not throwing a fit. I'm sorry. Been to college. That's not how that goes. But real life, right? But no, seriously. So I'm just thinking about it from that. And then again, like you say, for her to turn in, I knew the whole time. Then what did you expect him to do?
Right, exactly. Just stand there.
I don't understand. Like, that's where it threw me for a loop. And I was just like, I hate this character.
Come on. She got that Bonquisha blood in her. What you expect? Come on.
Listen, I understand what Mark is going through. It's the easiest way to explain it. I understand when you do everything right. That's what that scene was to me. It was that note, that nod to when you do everything right, or you think you've done everything right, and then you think like, oh, okay, I didn't give you enough information. Let me give you more information. And it's like, oh no, I knew that already.
So why are we having this discussion right now?
It hit home for you. That's what it did.
I'm sure it hit home for everyone. Like, everyone probably felt that one in the back of their. And here's the thing: I know where everybody felt that one. Everybody felt that one in the back of their throat because they were watching it with their wife or their lady, and they didn't want to react.
Right. Yeah. Luckily, I was the one that reacted. My wife kept quiet up until that point, and I'm like, bitch, you're not even going to say you're sorry? And she's like, thank you. And I was like, yeah.
For real. But so, yeah. And from there, here was the person I also was a little irritated for. So you have all of this. You have now Amber's turned around and, oh, I know. And William is still trying to figure out, like, dang, bro, you weren't going to tell me at all. Like, I thought we were friends.
Right.
But he's also understanding. Then Eve comes back. Now, if you ask me, this is where I thought you were going to be right, Nick. I expected Eve to come back, her and Amber to run into each other, going to see Mark, coma and all of that. Everything's passed. We're much time later, and come to find out they've grown closer, but it was off camera, so we didn't see it.
Yeah. That would have been good. That was good. I'm actually happy for Eve. She's living her best life, man.
For real.
She left her parents and then just made that tree house in the middle of the woods.
Until she lets Mark move in. Wait for that. I know it's coming.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's
Mark's
true.
moving in.
Mark is gonna be having double time. If it's not that, I'm looking for like some lesbian action to happen between Eve and Amber.
Well, because that didn't happen in season 1, I don't think, and there were no nods to it even by the end of season 1. I think that's totally out.
Maybe
if there were any nod, like if there were the slightest nod, like even if they had just lingered into each other's eyes a little longer, held hands, anything, I'd be like, okay, maybe.
But you say, go back to that episode with the whole
at the Southern Kitchen.
Yeah. That's why I kind of felt that a little bit. I was like,
I think that's where we all started reaching is in that episode. I think that's where we started reaching, and we expected it to go there because they did dialogue wise. Yes, they left a little bit of chili pepper on that, but but it didn't turn into anything. It was bland. It was bell pepper. It wasn't chili pepper.
Yeah. Really, I'm okay with it though. Honestly, I think that Eve is probably too good for the both of them. She can just go help save the world and live in her treehouse.
Yeah, but she's crushing on Mark super hard. Come on.
She is. Yeah, I know.
That's coming. It's coming.
I know.
How about this? I'll call it episode 2, season 3. Adam, Eve, and Mark figure it out. I
mean, I definitely think that they're going to push it in that direction. I just don't know. I mean, I just think it's kind of tedious because then it's going to be like, well, are they going to get together, or is they, like, it's going to be Amber? I don't like the love triangle thing.
I agree.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, because the implications for either aren't really good. Like, I don't think anybody's going to be happy if he chooses one or the other anymore at this point. Like, you've spent too much time growing these two characters. Now they either like have to not date at all, or he's got to date both of them,
or he's got to date William, and everybody just is thrown for a loop.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
it could happen. But and that's kind of my point, though, is as far as relationships, aside from them putting Amber and Mark back together, which really does not make sense. Mm-hmm. It is. You know what? No, it does make sense. This is high school.
You
make the most irrational decision. That actually makes perfect sense.
It does. So, yeah. And his buddy said it best when they're sitting in the car. He's like, you're like one of those dudes that got chopped in half and didn't realize it until half of your body is sliding off of you.
That was a great analogy.
He's like, yeah, she broke up with you months ago, man. You just didn't even know. Like,
great analogy.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, I don't know. I'm good with maybe everybody just becoming celibate and practicing abstinence.
That'll be it. You know what? Hey, that actually might be a cool little way to drag it, because you've never seen that in the show. You've never seen that in the show. You've never seen that in the show rated adult MA, and you've never seen that in the cartoon anime style, because they're mostly based around sexual innuendos.
Yeah, and they're always trying to press some type of relationship just to get people in it.
Yeah,
right.
It's unnecessary at this point, I think. I think the story can stand on its own without any love triangle.
Totally agree. So from there, we've got Amber. We know where Adam and Eve is. So actually, with Eve, taking Eve, understanding where the team, or do we call them the new Guardians of the Globe?
I think they're the new Guardians of the Globe. Yeah.
All right, the new Teen Guardians of the Globe. No. Looking at where they are, Rudy, Monster Girl. What is the Shocker guy, or not the Shocker? Wow, what's the black guy's name?
Oh, his name is Black Samson.
Black Samson.
Oh wow, how did I not know that? That's a pretty cool name, Black Samson.
Yeah, but I don't know what his powers are though. What are his powers?
Well, he emits an electric pulse, doesn't he?
Something like that.
It looks like he emits like some type of an EMP.
Oh, okay, maybe. Yeah. I guess that makes sense. That's got to be the wackest Justice League I've ever seen, man.
Like, whacker than the first one that got killed.
The first one was at least cool. Yeah, they had the quintessential characters. I mean, Duplicate doesn't have any powers. She can just make more of herself,
which is weird. Why do you want to get killed so many times in one day?
How could she fight any bad guy? She's only a human that can make more of herself. I don't know.
They did the same thing in the X-Men, but the multiplier usually gets killed pretty fast. So I don't understand why she's still alive either.
Right.
She should have left with Eve, but we know why.
Right. Yeah, that was Rexplosion's problem.
God, they need to change his name.
They do.
So yeah, Black Samson. What do you guys think of Black Samson? I am very confused by Black Samson.
I don't know what to think about him.
I don't like they treat him dude like dirt.
I mean, granted, but
honestly, bro had definitely the whole. He's been part of the Guardians. He's had the experience, and they just trashed him out from possibly being leader. They take this asshole to be leader. Then they give him more grief at the end, like, we're gonna beat your ass because he's sitting there washing the blood off the wall. Like, really?
Yeah, that was weird.
No, I got what that was. That was more of a so that was this. That was, you don't do shit alone. This is a team effort.
Yeah, but it didn't seem like that at the beginning. It seemed like Black Samson was like, what are you doing? We haven't earned that. And then all of the other people are like, we'll fight you. And then he's like, now we're starting to be a team. I'm like, what?
I think that was the whole point of their awkwardness. Like, I get you. You guys are on point. My point is, I think that is how awkward they are. Like, they were just playing that shit up. Like, that's exactly how awkward it is in there, because they don't know each other. They're all still trying to figure it out. And in reality, everything that they've gotten at this point has simply been by luck. Battle Kitty beat them the hell up. Like, they all would be dead right now if he didn't get bored.
man, we bring back Battle Kitty. That's all I got to say.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and then in the whole fight with Omni-Man and Mark, nobody won.
No.
He got tired of beating his kid's ass. It was like, all right, my belt broke. Like, you go to your room and I'm going to go to the attic or something. That was it.
Bro,
they didn't do anything.
When he holds him in front of that subway, that is one of the craziest scenes I've ever seen.
Still in my head,
I know, just getting like just exploding bodies right in front of your face.
Dude was playing
bodies with your eyeballs.
He was playing human fucking Fruit Ninja with them people.
For real, yeah, he really was.
Yeah, but I thought that was epic at the same time, though.
That was an incredible fight scene. That was really, really good. I enjoyed that one. I mean, honestly, as I said, it's worth watching the season just for that fight scene. I think it's that good for sure.
You sure that was a fight scene? You're more like an ass whipping.
Well, it was. Yeah, that's true. That was a parent whooping their child.
I was just about to say, Mark's teacher called home that morning. We just don't know it.
Yeah, he got his report card.
Because he definitely got his ass whooped. Like, so we just wanted to let you know, Mr. Omni-Man or Mr. Grayson, that Mark didn't show up to school for the last 5 days. We don't know what's going on. And if you could just check in on him for us and let us know that everything is fine. Mark!
Yeah. It's like that scene from Goodfellas when they find out when Henry's a kid, he's not going to school.
Man.
His dad's like, you haven't been in school in months. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Like that face.
Yeah. Oops.
You figured that out.
But yeah, what else? There's some other stuff here that we're you know what I actually liked was Immortal coming back.
Yes,
just to be killed again, just to be brought back again.
But so that's interesting. I was trying to figure out why they had not tried to bring him back before. He is the Immortal. He's not dead. Right.
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure out, was it just a time thing? But they never connected his head and his body again, and I think that's what the issue was. Right. I don't think Cecil was trying to reanimate him yet. I'm sure he had a plan to, but I don't think he was trying to reanimate him.
I like that scene, the Matrix scene. The one where they're in the white room and he's like, yeah, because everybody drinks this chemical in the tap water, you guys can't see this light spectrum, and then he flips the lights on and you see the headquarters. Yeah. But that's where you see they're reanimating Immortal. So
okay, I missed that.
Yeah. So they're reanimating. Cecil is reanimating Immortal in that room. So I mean, I assume he's going to be coming back.
Well, yeah, in the future, I'm sure. But that was my kind of point. I thought he would have been back earlier in the season. So for him to come back the way he came back, like it took the Mauler twins, that's weird.
Yeah. Well, I guess the Mauler twins are the only ones that like can do the reanimation thing. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like that anymore. Cecil looks like he's growing his arsenal.
I think he's going to hire the Mauler twins.
Yeah, probably. Well, he definitely hired that serial killer guy to make those robots.
That's what leads me to think that. So between what Robot did, between what Cecil's doing, so Cecil is, to me, that classic good bad guy, that classic like gray area person.
Yeah,
like there's always somebody dabbling in the gray area. So when you look at them, they're doing the right thing, but when you turn your head, they got all the other sinister mess going.
Mm-hmm. He's at Amanda Waller / Nick Fury.
Yep, exactly. Right. And I don't know if Nick Fury really counts because he's had to send people on some terrible missions, but he hasn't made half the decisions that Waller's had to make. Like he really gets the soft side of the cake. But I must be hungry. But,
yeah.
So I'm just thinking about with Cecil and everything, like what is his real agenda? Because he's literally everybody that they take down, he just enlists as a new client.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's at the point where it's like, well, I'm going to have to use everybody against Omni-Man. That's all you can do. I mean, like he's at the point where it's like, there's nothing you can do against Omni-Man. I mean, even he brought Cthulhu out for Pete's sakes.
Is that what that was? Cthulhu?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
It was something.
It was.
I think you have to. I mean, especially when you got that information, man.
Mm-hmm.
There's more of these dudes out here conquering shit. So it's like, one is this tough. How you gonna deal with hundreds and thousands of them?
Millions.
Man.
And when he goes back to the whole thing with them cyborg things, he was like, and he told Invincible, he's like, it sounded like you were getting your ass kicked, like you were having a hard time with them.
Mhm.
And sure enough, when they had a couple of them gang up on Omni Man, he had some problems with them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I can see him building up a little army just in case they decide to really invade. You're gonna need some type of defense.
Definitely.
Right. But keep in mind that to me, from what I can see, the Viltrumites have that same little tick that Superman does. Once they black out, it's a wrap. Like they turn into a nuke.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have liked to see Omni-Man hurt just a tiny bit in that last fight, bro. Like he only got I think even Cecil said it. He's like a $400 billion bloody nose when they shot that dew out of the satellite onto him.
Right.
Like
they
dude,
can't even try to nick him.
At this point, and you know, we've definitely seen that Mark cannot even go toe to toe with him.
Too young.
So too young and too inexperienced, and maybe, you know, Viltrumite's power grows with age as well. He does. Omni-Man does say the older you get, the less you age.
Right.
So, you know, perhaps like when you're that old, you're just like almost unstoppable.
Right. Well, keep in mind, remember when Nolan went and he went to the aging where the aliens were aging back to their realm or to their world. He was there for a couple of Earth months, which on their end would be hundreds of years, and he only had a 5 o'clock shadow barely.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, this concept that, you know, like that he was, you know, he's basically lived thousands of years already. I thought that, you know, like it makes sense as to why he's so cold-blooded. He's like he's seen eons and eons and everything go on. Like he doesn't have the time. Well, he does have the time, but he doesn't have the patience to actually care about people anymore.
Right.
You know, except for slightly caring about Mark after he pulverized his face and threw him into mountains.
Right. And then remembers playing with him as a baby. Like, whoa, come on.
You know, that was kind of like the
remember that shit, huh?
That was kind of like the Martha scene in my opinion, to be honest. I thought that was kind of like the Batman v Superman scene. I was like, come on, now you're gonna be like, oh my god, what have I done? My baby boy.
Why are you talking about that movie? That movie looked great.
Yeah.
Especially the director's cut. Come on, man.
The director's cut is dope, man.
That's how we know they got your money.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, I don't know. Did we miss any big characters? You guys, do we have any others that we missed?
Waller Twins, Rexplosion is trash. Monster Girl, Robot, and Monster Girl and their creepiness. Black Samson is dope, but we still trying to figure out who and why. Debbie is gonna fall into either a deep depression, or she's gonna get some powers, or she's gonna die. I'm not sure which one, but there is gonna be a term with Debbie.
I think she and Cecil are gonna hook up.
Ew. I think her and Art did hook up in that one night because Art only had the one cup. I only have the one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. she's just all in her feelings right now.
Right.
Or she might hook up with the fake Hellboy. Bring him out.
Oh yeah.
Oh right.
Damien Darkblood. Yeah.
Yeah. What about that? Does anybody think Darkblood's coming back, or how?
Oh, he's certainly coming back.
Do you think it'll be by Debbie, or do you think Cecil's going to need him again?
Oh, Cecil says he has him. He has him in custody. So he's just basically got Damien Darkblood in custody, and he's been trying to interrogate him, but he hasn't gotten any information out of him. And Cecil does say something interesting. He says, because Nolan says, let me take a crack at him. And he says, as much as I would like to see an unstoppable force meet an immovable object, I'm going to keep this one close to the belt. So maybe Damien could be somebody that could stand toe to toe with Omni-Man.
Possibly. But he also seems equally afraid of being killed by Omni-Man. So there's still some question to that.
Yeah, I don't know if he's afraid of being killed. I don't know if you can kill him.
Oh yeah, or just banished and having to make that trip back.
Definitely. Yeah, if Omni-Man can banish him, then it might be bad news for him. I did like the way Cecil kind of handled Omni-Man with the teleportation.
Yeah, that was clutch.
Yeah.
He definitely proved a little bit like, okay, you might be a Viltrumite, but a little intelligence goes a long way.
Yeah, definitely. And
And being able, so we finally find out the situation is it's just a basic teleporter, like, which is what you were saying. And I was like, are we sure he's not human, or it's just a basic teleporter?
Yep. Yeah.
And it needs so much power to get done. And I thought that was kind of cool, but trash at the same time.
Yeah, it would have been kind of cool if he just had teleportation powers, but
yeah,
you know.
But instead he's moving on an ultralight beam. I get it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, so you want to move on to the predictions about what you think is going to happen in the second season? I mean, I know there's a comic book out, so I don't know if any of you've read the comics. I haven't. So I'm just going to take speculations about what the storyline might be. I know they're probably going to be following the comic books to a certain degree, but what do you guys think?
Well, I'll go last with my predictions, but as far as the comic, I did a little more research on that. It is 144 issues. I think last time I said it was 125. I have not read any, but I have done a little research into some, so I have found out some more information. So that will probably play into my prediction a little. But I do plan on, like I have already said, I plan on finding a way to read this entire series. The last entire 2 series I read was Thanos and the Eternals, so a lot of like all of that made sense to me ahead of time, and Deadpool and Death, which were the last 2 comic book series I read end to end, like from how it started and how it ended. So I'm excited to find this one and do the same. But I will give my prediction last.
Yeah, you should check out The Boys as well.
That's the actual comic book too?
Yeah, it's a graphic novel. Nice. Yeah. Dijon, you want to go ahead first?
I don't know. I'll probably tell you the truth. I don't want to make any speculations quite yet. I mean, because these are one of these things where I haven't touched it because I didn't too much care for like the comic book itself. And only reason I watched this series was because of this podcast. And I was just like, well, honestly, I really wasn't going to touch it because I'm not a fan of Robert Kirkman. I mean, I don't. He does Walking Dead, and I mean, The Walking Dead was just, it was whatever to me. I didn't really touch it. It was just meh. And I'm like, his shit to me just drags on. And I was like, well, when I used to hang out in the comic book store years ago, I used to always hear, the guys that worked there and other people like, yeah, Invincible's the shit. Especially when I was trying to, push myself to read stuff that wasn't, primarily Marvel or DC. And I was just like, this shit looks stupid. So, I mean, and plus the writer, so I didn't touch it. But you know what? Watching this season and going through this, I'm like, you know what? It's not bad. And for me, because I have been doing my own type of writing here and there. And I'm like, it's kind of inspiration because, the typical superhero story was, I mean, you can tell that this definitely drawn from a lot of things like any other media that you would just to try to create your own thing. It was just one of these things where it was just like, this is fresh, but also unique in its own manner. And I dig it. And you know what? I gotta give the guy kudos to it, but I'm definitely gonna dive into it and read it. I just hope I'm not as disappointed in reading the books like I was reading towards the end of Preacher and towards the end of The Boys, because what do you call it? Garth Guinness. He's the writer for Preacher and The Boys, and I've seen both seasons of The Boys and also all of Preacher, and I'm very thankful that someone like Seth Rogen and his team took on both of those shows. And you know what? I like the shows better than the comic books for the simple reason that they definitely take homage to a lot of the work, but also make something different and change things up. Like the thing with The Boys. And I'm just going to throw this out there. I know you haven't seen it yet, Keenan, but what's it? Stormfront? Yeah. Stormfront was supposed to be a dude.
Right.
German dude, but I like that twist. I like the twist they did with whatever Night Noir and what's his name? Whatever that dude's name, the fake Superman / Captain America.
Yeah.
I forget his name.
Homelander.
And I just liked all the things they changed. So Yeah, I'm definitely gonna read it just to say, all right. Then I'm just gonna be like, let's see what they change and what they're gonna do. But I'm digging it, so I'm just gonna like hold off on predictions because
Yeah.
it gives me something new to read.
Yeah,
as well.
cool. Yeah, and it's another Seth Rogen franchise too. So hopefully he'll be able to adapt the comic into a better TV show.
And you know what? That dude is on fire.
He's doing a lot,
including Loki.
Is he in that too?
He's probably gonna pop up. Who knows?
Oh,
I'm just look. I figure. Sidebar. If you guys watched, dang it, I never mind. I just blanked out. But it was a show that came on Fox a while back, and it had Josh. One of those Joshes.
Josh
One of those
Whedon?
Joshes. No.
Or his
Josh.
brother, Josh something.
Yeah, either way. It was one of those futuristic based movies. They were time jumping and junk like that. And the character that Owen Wilson plays in the Loki show is very similar to the character that the Seth Rogen character played in season 3 of that show. And
hold on, are you talking about Future Man?
Thank you, Future Man.
Oh,
yes.
fuck that show.
that's why I bring it up.
I'm saying fuck that show because I'm an extra in the first season.
Really?
nice.
Because I mean, I've told Nick about it. But I met Seth Rogen in the span of when he was filming that show at the community college I was going to.
That's cool.
And he was just super paranoid because that was the second time in that month I seen that dude. He thought I was paparazzi.
Who are you?
Yeah,
that's funny.
Well, I don't know if I have. Oh yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, but yeah, fuck that show still.
Fuck that show. I don't know if I have any predictions for the second season. I do suspect that we'll probably see Mark go to that Galactic Federation to try to recruit, people or whoever to fight the Viltrumites to defend Earth. So that might be pretty interesting. But aside from that, I don't really know what else could be happening. So I think I like the idea of just kind of keeping my mind open too, and not trying to speculate too far.
Right. Nice. I actually forgot about the Galactic Federational people. Oh, wait. Which is Seth Rogen, who's in the show already. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So, okay, you guys don't have many predictions. As far as predictions, I don't have a lot, but theory kind of like the direction they're going. I don't think they're gonna like try to go back and wrap up any of the things that we didn't get to wrap up in season 1, like the Mars situation and all of that good stuff. I don't think they're gonna wrap any of that up. The Galactic Federation is one of the few things I do expect to continue with us. Of course, Cecil and the team and all of that. I think we might. Mm-hmm.
Actually, maybe, because if I remember right, I think that whole thing towards the end when he's talking to that alien, that's Seth Rogen, that was just like, he's like, so what are you gonna do now? And he's like, and they just have all them cutscenes. I think they kind of cut to Mars with a bunch of them fucking little star things.
And they had that astronaut that was taken over by one of the parasites. Yeah.
Right. But I think that was more of a knock or a no to these are the things that are going to happen in between what we're going to see, what we see now and what we're going to see next. And more so than they're going to wrap it up. I think they were just saying like, oh yeah, these things didn't just disappear, but it's similar to like at the beginning, we knew there were a couple of other things going on. They were continuously talking about attacks and all of that, but we didn't see a lot of it. We just knew what was going on. I think it's going to be more like that. Okay. As far as everybody else, the characters, we kind of got into what we feel about most of them. And that's pretty much what my bad. Nolan. Again, I expect the next time we see Nolan, he is going to be in not in deep water, but he's going to be in some kind of hot water with other Viltrumites. And again, I don't know if Mark is going to have to help him, but he and Mark are going to not necessarily be enemies maybe not the next time, but one of the next 3 to 5 times they meet.
Yeah, I could see the Viltrumites hunting down Nolan for sure, for abandoning his post.
And that's and it's because you said the abandoning post. At first, I was just thinking like, somebody that he's gonna run into that he doesn't like from the past. But when you said that at the beginning, abandoning post, I'm like, wait, dang, this is a military situation. He did abandon posts.
Yeah.
So that could definitely turn into a big issue for him.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, let's give our final reviews then, since we have finished season 1 of Invincible and we'll have to wait some time to see season 2. I'm going to say that I give this, it's hard for me to rate this. It's hard for me to rate this the whole season, but I think I would have to say it's a solid 7 for me.
Damn.
I don't know, man. Look, I'm trying to be fair. I don't think that it was incredible. I think that the last episode was really good. I was okay with the show, but it's a 7. It's a 7. What can I say? I'm being a stickler. Keelan, what do you think?
You're being honest. That's good.
Well, I can say I am automatically. I'm not too far below a 7, but I am under a 7. Let's be very clear. For me, it gets a +4 just on fresh and unique, the fresh uniqueness. Like it's 4 on that alone.
Okay.
But I'll talk about where it loses some things for me. I really didn't care for the O.J. Simpson style storytelling through the beginning. Just like wrap up, finish a story. Damn it, stop making me wait. So that kind of irritated me. So that was like a 0.5 off. I was with you, Nick, on the whole relationships and the way they just kept playing that card. That pretty much lost it a whole another 1 point for me, bringing us down to an 8.5 already. And then there was I don't feel like the other superheroes got enough of an opportunity to show like this is how much of a threat we were to Nolan. Like, nah, you guys weren't. You were pebbles and ants in his way. And then for the Immortal to come back just to be sliced down 5 minutes later, it's like, all right, wait, what was the point? So that lost a little bit for me. And then from there, it was just my opinion, but I give it a firm 6.8. No, I give it a 6.5.
6.5.
Yeah, and truly, it would have been a 7. It would have been a 7 if there was just a little more from anyone other than Omni-Man and Mark, and then they made that quite vague. As every opportunity they got, they made that as vague as possible.
All right, Dejan, what do you say? What say you, Dejan?
I'm scared.
Oh, don't be scared, man. There's no wrong answer here,
right? And Dejan, also keep in mind, we're only rating it because we have to be critical. I enjoyed it still. Like what I remember, I said I will binge this season over. So if we're talking about watchability, it's probably like a 9. But
I think we also
rating,
I think we also gave Eraser, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Eraser, like a 7. So
yeah,
no, the movies deserve it back then.
So for the record, guys, 7 is a pretty good rating from us.
Pretty much, yeah.
Just letting you guys know, they're talking about being critical. I think I'm gonna be critically getting some backlash after this one.
Go ahead,
one
man.
more off.
Let it rip.
Honestly, I'm gonna give it not knowing too much about the book and basically bashing the original creator of it. I'm gonna give it an 8 for now. For me, because I don't know too much about it, and for me, beyond that, I think this is the type of direction that most comic book iterations should go into is animation, because I think this is going to be like the stepping stone for certain streaming platforms or just studios to really look at, versus trying to always push it in that direction of making it how would you call it what was that not feature length but live action.
Yeah,
for me, I don't know if you guys seen the Umbrella Academy, but most likely I can't stand it. I love the comic, but I can't stand it. And honestly, watching this and going into that, I think that series would have did better as an animation. I think so much could have been done. And I think with this, it was good for what it was worth, especially jumping into it. it's just like anything else. I think the writing is kind of catered to certain characters because it's certain characters, and eventually I think it might branch off to other people and get time of day to certain people just to kind of thin it out. Season one, and I think it's gonna kind of like just pour itself out and give people some breathing space. But we'll, or it can be like most things. Season two, pretty okay. Season three, you just go to shit, like most series.
Right. Yeah. And, I that kind of just reminded me, I totally agree with you about this animation. I would like to even see something like, have you guys seen Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix?
Yes.
Dude, I love that series so much. And I love it because it's an anthology series and each episode is a different style of art and different style of animation. And it's telling its own little, insulated story.
Yeah.
I would love to see like a superhero sort of animation, show like that, where they take different art styles for each episode or each season even. But yeah, Love, Death, and Robots comes out for season 2 soon, so we might have to do that as well.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. And I think Invincible could be one of the superhero shows to do that. And with you guys discussing animation, because I was thinking about that, Dejan, while you were talking, I'm gonna change my rating to a 7 because I don't think I gave the animators enough credit, and animators never get as much credit as the writers. We have to change that.
And that shit is hard work too. It's a process, what I hear it.
Yeah. And I almost want to give them a 7.5, but I'm not giving anybody a full point on just because I made a mistake. But I'll give them a half a point and admit, like, you know what, maybe I short sold them a bit because first off, we've never seen the type of fight action scenes out of an animated superhero type of movie where the good guys were the ones doing the killing. We've never saw the realities painted into the animation the way that it was. Like it's like we got Superman, except when Superman catches the lady and saves her, he crushed her on accident. We got that. So I think I do owe them a bit of an apology. So I'm gonna go up to a 7.
Oh, and one thing I do want to add, voice acting was phenomenal. It was just like an all-star. I'm like, dude, how much money you guys give? Like, look at all these fucking heavy hitters you guys got for fucking it's actually called for just voice acting. I was like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, wow.
I don't think they paid more than FX paid for Archer though.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe not. But Amazon is really throwing money at their series. I know that the Lord of the Rings series is going to be like $500 million or something like that, or like 200 or 300 million. It's like massive. So
yeah, how's with that?
What if Amazon does a show called Dance of Dragons?
Oh well, HBO's doing that, but yeah, we'll see. They could redo Game of Thrones and probably do it better.
That's all I'm saying. That's exactly what I was hitting at. Like, just take those last 3 seasons and redo those over.
Yeah, please. That would be great. We'd appreciate that. I'm actually I would love to do a Love, Death, and Robots review in the future. I know that season 2 is coming out soon, so maybe we can touch upon that. And then I think that's pretty much it for me. I don't know, you guys got anything else before we close out?
I think that's all for me on Invincible season 1. Again, I am looking forward to season 2. I absolutely enjoyed season 1. Wait. Also, they do need to get a little better with the villains. Like, I like my villains to be smart and sciencey, but can they not be so cheesy?
Yeah, and maybe a villain that doesn't die at the end of the episode. Maybe like a 2-episode villain, or maybe even a 3-episode villain.
Well, I think Cecil is that.
Cecil?
The gray area, because he plays the gray area.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, Omni-Man technically is the villain of the entire season, but
granted.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it would be nice to see some really serious super villains out there. That would be pretty cool. Dijon, you got anything else before we wrap up, man?
No, I'm all good and ready for season 2.
Yeah, same. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. We very much appreciate you. We hope that you're having a wonderful evening or any time that you are checking us out. We very much appreciate it. Please consider giving us a subscription on our YouTube. That would be very much appreciated. And also check out our Thinkering Talks page where you can connect with us and check out all of our podcasts. Keelan just finished his podcast, If Numbers Could Talk. That's on at Tuesdays at 6 p.m. So be sure to check that out. He's got a Facebook page and a YouTube page as well. Please go check him out, If Numbers Could Talk. I also have a podcast called Exofathom. If you want to check that out, it's on Monday and Friday at 8 p.m. I got a YouTube page and a Facebook page at Exofathom. If you're a purist and just want to hear us blabber on about movies and TV shows, then thank you so much. And thanks for taking this trip through the Screen Time Continuum. For Screen Time Continuum, I am Nick.
And I am Keelan.
I'm the mustard.
Good night.